event. I really want to actually thank them for all they've done for your show. So without further ado, we'll actually allow Messi and so as you introduce yourself, please tell us your departments and your faculties or where you are from in the first place. So Messi, over to you right now. Thank you.
Okay. Good afternoon, everyone. Am I to okay. Good afternoon, everyone. Okay, I'm Messi Nobi, a product designer. I studied optometry from University of Benin, and it's been fun always. Okay, so today we'll be talking about, when it comes to startup, like how, to go about it. And this webinar or this session is more of telling us like newbies, like ideas and how to like generate ideas and how to go about it, like starting point. So most of the times we see that like Mr. Shidoke was telling me before, everybody came on board about interswitch and also about this some companies that from them came out other startups. And there was one time I was talking to my mentor, and he said something about most startup, like most CEOs or most startups owner actually know themselves. Like because I love watching, when Peace Itimi, she does this interview things, like she interview like startup owners, and individual like people like that. And she, she's really good at it. So, okay. Mr. Chiduke, sir, sir, can you hear me? Can anybody hear me at all?
Okay, hi. I think
We can hear you. Continue.
No, okay. So as I was saying, when it comes to like startup, it's just thinking outside the box. Like just like, well, what do you think I can do that can fetch me money, right? And most times we are told that the motivation should not be money. Actually, motivation or one of the reasons for startup companies to like get money, but the main reason is to solve a problem. Because as a product designer, right, we are told out that, or we are taught out that, you need to empathize with your user, something like that. Because the whole idea of product designers are also called UI UX. So the whole idea of UI UX is user interface, right? User experience, like how users tend to like experience the product, like how well is this product working, right? We design that experience. So when it comes to having a startup, is also the same thing. Like, what do you think you can do that, to help reduce stress, like to just solve a problem? And for example, I would use is it for example, okay, when ChatGPT came out, right? Some people didn't really like started using it when it came out. So it was like later, over the years, people started using ChatGPT. But when ChatGPT initially came out, the whole purpose was because of the movie Avengers, right? We saw what Iron Man did with his is it Javas or Jarvis, Jarvis, right? And we see that some people sat down with this team and they decided to create something like that for the real world, like for humans. And we see how that, most times say like just like we students, we have this idea that I need a faster way of like doing this assignment, because most of us have this, almost like getting things done almost at the end of the day, or almost like 2 hours into when the thing is supposed to be submitted, something like that. So we just have this, I want to do this thing fast. We don't want to read it. We don't want it to stock, in our brain. We just want to get over it like so fast. So when ChatGPT came, is that you can actually insert a question and what just get the answer immediately, like immediately. The experience was crazy. Like people were thrilled, like, wow, they've never, seen something like this before. We all had the idea, like, okay, I want something, like I want something that can, give me the answer fast. And we saw ChatGPT, right? And we saw the solution to the problem we're having, and people are willing to pay for it. And later, like over the years, we saw, version of, AI everywhere. AI now is selling. Is the, next big thing. So what am I trying to say is that when it comes to startup, is that you're thinking outside the box. You're thinking about what can I do, right? How can I solve this problem? How can I generate income? Like beyond the income is just that what can I do to help this person? For example, is like this, okay, Chowdeck. Chowdeck came from Flutterwave. The CEO was like working with was working at Flutterwave, if I'm correct, right? And he went to meet his bosses and was like, okay, I have this idea, this and that, because okay, tech is good, right? But when it comes to logistics, like people have issue in delivery, right? And they gave him like what he needed. And now we have Chowdeck like everywhere, right? And we see that he solved the problem to the extent that when I was watching the interview, an Okada rider now, they are into deliveries. An Okada rider was like, he had an issue, right? And he needed money over like 200K to solve the issue. And when he called his boss, like when he called them at Chowdeck, they were able to like give him, because he had worked like in a month. You can actually in a month, an Okada rider can actually be paid over 150K to 200K just because it's delivering things. So that's a solution to a problem, right? So when it comes to like startups, right? We have businesses that are already ongoing, right? We have yes, we have businesses that are already on ground, but people cannot really buy into it because some people don't have the money, or majority don't actually have the money. So we can create things from that. Example is, I don't know why I'm using ChatGPT. Example is ChatGPT, right? We now saw that Gemini came on, right? We saw Bing, we saw so many AI tools, right? Like Gemini now, it's free, right? You can get a question and get an answer from ChatGPT, then put it to Bing or Gemini, and you get like different answers, right? So is that it is not you can actually have an idea of what is already existing, and just you can actually have the same audience, but the solution is a bit different from what is on ground. So when it comes to dashing out value, there's something called value proposition. It's more like what's the main reason for like your key insights, or the main reason why you're like giving out, like why you are doing the thing. Are you guys following?
Yeah.
Yeah, we are.
Okay.
Yes,
Thank
we are
you.
following. We
So
are following.
okay, thank you. And when it comes to business or creating a startup, like market research is really really important. research, existing competitors, which very important. There's something I heard something about how that there are companies that when they create a thing, they have trademark on it, so you can never copy from them. If you copy from them, they can sue you. So something like that can also be, we can also implement that. Like for example, now, majority of people, especially young individuals, we have this, we have like we think wide, like we think, and normally a young average, individual can think as wide. We have imaginations a lot, so we can in a day we can see, but like we can in our mind though we can have this over 100, right, hundred of thousands of ideas, but when it comes to executing that idea, that's where the problem is. We see people don't know how to, articulate their thoughts. They don't even know how to start. They don't even know, they don't even know what to do. You understand? So when when we when we start, or when we have an idea to bring it into fruition, it has to it has to this process, definitely, like everything in life is processed, like, so there's always principles and process that is attached to whatever like we are doing or we are meant to do. So most of the time you see people that are high flyers, or people that climb the ladder very fast, that people that have people, you know over like an oversight, someone that like a mentor, or someone that can, guide them. For example, the Chaldec thing is that he was working there with them. So he was seeing things, like it was taking note of, like, okay, this thing has been solved, right? This one has not been solved, right? And they had friends there that they kind of think alike. So when it comes to like startups, you need people, right? You need people that think like you. Like you need a wise man once said, right? Your life is what something like the trajectory of your life would be mainly, the emphasis is more like the five, something like the five people you work with the most would sorry, I've forgotten. Something like the five people you work with the most would determine how well your life would turn out to be, something like that. So like most of the times we need, or most importantly, we need a mentor, a coach, right? And there's one other thing. So more like a mentor would, guide you, something like that will guide you, will help you, do this and this. We need to have like difficult conversations, like, someone that will shout out to you that you're not doing well. So when it comes to having a startup, you need to be accountable. Like you need to do the difficult thing, because many of us just fantasize, we need 100 million to come to us today. Yes, we believe, but the work needs to be done. Like, to actually be good in a thing, you need more or less like 10,000 hours, right? And if you should spread it, it's more like 10 to like 15 or 18 hours every day, doing the same thing every day, like over a year, over the years. So when it comes to creating a startup, you can have the idea, but to bring it to fruition, like to make it come to pass, you need men, not just ordinary men. You need men that have walked through the path. You know, you need men that can like help you when it comes to business model. And we're not just, it's not as if we're like sitting down and taking instructions from them. No. It's like you're doing your assignments and going to them to like meet them for like correction, right? This is where funding comes in, where you meet, like you just need to enter some kind of circles. Like you need to explore. Like you just need to leave that comfort zone to, to explore. Like it's very good to explore. A typical example is going for conferences. A I won't call him a friend. I don't know if we all know Udoka. Like he's one of my, he's a friend. He's also someone I really look up to. We talk a lot. And one time we're talking, I was like, Mesinobi, do you go for conferences? I was like, yeah, my father, no. It was like, do you know? It was like most people in Edo State or, and like this Ugbo axis, people are really, school oriented. It was like, you people don't want to spend money. Like he said, spend money on conferences. Like go for conferences. Like it's really important. You get to network. And there's a lady called LinkedIn Queen, right? Udoka met her during one conference. He went for a paid conference, and he explained how it was going for conferences there, and he met her and they started talking, and that's how they became friends. So it was like they are people you see online and you just want to like really get close to, right? And they would actually they will actually boost your career a lot, because what we know, right? If you meet other people, that's like the list of what they know. So like we see ourselves in other men. You understand? So when it comes to startups, like we have the idea of both. We need other men to fuel us. We need stories, right? I'm watching this series now, and I learned about loyalty. So sometimes you just need that exposure. There are some things. The CEO of Piggyverse, I was watching an interview like some months back. She said something. She said she started building the company, if I'm not wrong, or yeah, I stand to be corrected, around age 24, right? I don't know, maybe 22, 24, around that age, and somebody. So definitely when it comes to startup, you need like people. And she was like, against all odds, right? They made sure they built it, right? And see Piggyverse now over the years, like we will not see the pain or the mistakes or everything they went through. What we are seeing is the glory, right? So when it comes to building startups, like it's not a 3 month journey. It's not a year journey. It's something you do for life. And somebody was saying something about Elon Musk. It was like Elon Musk's company, right? Elon Musk is multifaceted. Like he's well vested. Like he knows a lot because he reads a lot. Someone like that, he owns 10 companies, right? We know Boring, Tesla, Twitter, SpaceX. He has 10 companies. I don't know, accounting, definitely. And somebody was saying in an interview that he would go from one company to the next. He would go from one company to the next, saying, like, talking to their top engineers, like what they don't even know, right? When he finishes with them, go to another company, talk with maybe their executive. Like the guy knows a lot. He's so dynamic in his doing. So the point is that how did it start? It started by reading. So reading helps us. Like reading makes you independent and makes you a strategic thinker, and you don't lean on people. Exactly. Like you don't need people to tell you what to do, but you need mentors. Like you need people, right, to help you, but you don't basically need people. Do you guys understand what I'm trying to say? Like when it comes to, like, when you know what you want to do, you are not at the mercy of, like, I'm not at the mercy of people. I have this friend that went to Russia through a scholarship. Right now it's part of like those teaching on online about Flutter Flow, right? Yes. So like when he started his company, when he went to pitch, it was like 2018, something like that. Then he traveled out. Now he's doing very well. What I'm trying to say is that you need the men to push you forward, but you have to, like, how many minutes? Can you guys hear me?
Yes, Bonnie.
Thank you. Okay. So what I'm trying to say is that don't okay, don't despise okay, thank you. Don't despise, this of little beginning. And when it comes to funding, like, people are ready to help you as long as you know what you're doing, right? Like, people are ready to spend their money definitely in return of something, but you need people to work with. So it's good to network. Network is not networking on group chat, like, go for conferences in person, talking to people like in person, you know, helping people, right? And over the years, it will all just align up. And when it comes to team building, like like I said, you need people, you know, you need people. If someone is not really helping you, you can actually fire them. When it comes to business, business is not friendship. Like, it's strictly business. Like, if I read books a lot. I started this YouTube channel, on like product design books, like summary. I give summary on sure on product design books, and I've seen that reading books helps a lot. Like, when you read books, it takes you ahead. Like, it takes you ahead. So I was reading about Nike, and how that's, they started from zero. That was like 23 when it started, just study spirit. I wanted to like travel to, like, import some stuff. I think from Japan or China. I read it earlier this year. The black, no, the Shoe Dog, right? It's a very good book. And over the years, they become successful. He had like other people, you know, which later like helped them, and they had shares in the company, because some came as though like employer, like just employees, but later they became like very important figure in the company. So that's just it. You can just have people that just like want to work for you, but at the end of the day, you see that they are very important, like, in your life, and you have to keep them. So when it comes to startups, like, just start anyway and meet with people, like, not just any of people, like important people. And if possible, make yourself accountable to at least three people, at least, at most five. But those three people, maybe one person just be like your friend. I know that okay, this person have sense. So, and the minute to, like, someone that is in that same like place where you want to be. We can reach out to people on Twitter, via Twitter. Maybe we are seeing their posts, and if you keep reaching out to them, like me now, I think I was trying to reach out to a product designer like them. It took me like a month or two for the person to actually reply. And immediately the person replied the person, right? And that's how it all started. So, and it's very easy to it's not easy. The road is, but it's okay to try things out of the blue, because me, for a person. I don't like 9 to 5 jobs. Like it's not for me. I want to I want to live a really free life. That kind of thing. I know how 9 to 5 can be, just being a student. Like, imagine now living that kind of life like throughout and getting 100 or 500K. That's not money. It's money share, but later in life, some people know they increase salary, so you just have to find a way for yourself. So with this, sorry. So with this few points of mine, because I was told to round up 440. So I believe I'm able to say this or that, from the time given. So I hope people are able to get one or two things, and maybe any questions. I would really appreciate. Thank you.
Genuinely, that was awesome. I won't lie. That was genuinely my favorite part of what you said was when you said just start. That's key. That's key. Because when you're starting a startup, there's a lot of fears, hesitation that comes with it. Right? But that's like
All right.
that's like thank you. That was phenomenal, Mercy. So good evening, everybody.
Thank you.
Sorry, I came a bit late. My apologies. So my name is Joshua, and I'll be continuing for where Mercy stops. But my approach is going to be a bit different. All right. Now, she gave you her real life expertise and how she does, and from the experience she and her friends have gotten. Understand that she learned, from what I got, she learned from us by herself. All right. She learned by herself, and she had to really go through it the hard way. So that's the point of having this kind of webinars. All right, so that you can not just connect and learn, but learn from our experience. Learn from our experience. Sorry for the break. All right. So, as I said, my name is Joshua Oshoke, and I'm genuinely thrilled to be your speaker today. So now here's the thing. Whether you're a seasoned entrepreneur or you're just starting out, I know some of you must have businesses you run already. There's one thing that remains constant, right? The idea that your startup begins with. Now, it begins with a strong foundation. Now, this foundation is built on a vision that needs to take its first tangible form. All right? Now, remember what I said about Mercy's speech. She said, just start. All right? You don't need much, just start. Now, a strong startup idea is the cornerstone of any successful venture. All right, it's not just about having an idea, but ensuring that this idea addresses a real need. It resonates with your target audience and it has potential. Right, this is not just a webinar for speaking sake. It's something I should learn from. All right. So I'm going to say what I said again. Your idea should have a real need. It should resonate with your target audience. Have potential for growth. It should have a problem that it is sort of startup have this issue. They make products for themselves. You should resonate with your target audience. You should come from a client-centric approach. All right. I'm trying to be as fast and tangible as possible because Messi spoke a lot. So I'm just going to give you a proper description and list of how I got started personally. This is my personal opinion, and this is how I did it for my businesses. All right. So, first question: where do great startup ideas come from? Where do great startup ideas come from? Inspiration can strike in various places. Personally, for me, it comes in places I least expect it. All right. The current businesses I am currently running, I got it from having fun with my friends, and there was a problem we kept on having. Boom, business idea. All right, but unfortunately, you can't just have that. You can't just have that immediate form of, ideas. there are sometimes you need to really, really take your time in the market. That brings up to step one. As I said, I'm giving you steps on how you can get this done. All right, step one, market gap. All right. Concept here is to look at a problem or look at the market and identify what is missing. All right, identify what is missing. What product or service could make people's lives easier or solve a pressing issue? All right. Now, personally, I'm a web developer. So the person that comes to everybody's mind when I tell them what I do, they say, where's your website? Where's your app? All right. Which is a very, very nice thing that I do. But a lot of people are trying to do what I do. The only thing I do. You can't be the problems in the third world country environment. All right. I'll give you an example. I think last semester or earlier this semester, there was no lights in school. All right, that was an issue. That was an immediate problem. A friend of mine, rather not a friend, a partner of mine, came up to me and said, "Okay, look at this. This is a problem that's immediately going on in school. Or how can we solve this problem and make financial profits?" The easiest solution we saw, the easiest problem we could solve was people needed to charge from. That was the problem. That was the pressure students had. What did we do? We found the solution. Solution was power banks. Can we build power banks? Yes. Do we have the time to build it? No. Right. We started thinking of how to build, but for now, we needed to make something feasible. We imported power banks, cheaper rates, and sold to students. Right. What to get the concept? I needed an idea. Studied the market. I saw a gap. I offered a solution that was targeted to my audience, that resolved a pressing issue. All right. Then another way for you to get ideas. All right. Well, what I'm currently doing, I'm listing possibilities of getting your business idea. Right? Another way you can get it is personal experience. Sometimes best ideas come from personal frustrations or needs that are not and my current solution. All right. So in this case, you guys do a lot of entrepreneurs do this. They try to copy America, they try to copy first world countries in a third world country. But the problem is that we do not have what to leverage on to give proper impact. Give proper impact. All right. The example I stated before, building an app, building a dating site in Nigeria or in Benin currency, building a dating site in Nigeria currently, is it a business idea? Yes. Is it a good business idea? In my opinion, it's not. That does not solve any pressing issue. That does not meet any pressing requirements. And to be honest, it won't, the market for it is not really there. So personal issues. I'm having frustrations. The order is not coming in. All right. The way every business I prioritize or I patronize rather. All right. I go into a restaurant. Right. I buy food. I look at the service. I look at everything that's going on. How can I make this better? What are they lacking? This is how you can get business ideas from already existing businesses. All right. You don't have to create your own. You can basically make people's own better, leveraging on what they have done to propel yours in the future. This is what inspires growth. All right. Then another way is trends. Trends are is a picky subject to me, right? Reason being that trend comes and go. Right? You need to know what you are doing. Is it a short-time trend? Is it a long-term trend? All right. Our generation is called the trend generation, the social media generation. All right. So basically keep an eye for emerging trends in technology, consumer behavior, and societal shifts. These are fertile grounds for innovative ideas. All right. Okay, let's go into the world of crypto. For example, hamster, something called hamster. I think this was a tapping, just you keep on tapping. If the coin comes out, you get money at the end of the day, right? It came, it went, another one keeps coming. Dog just released another one, keeps going. These are trends that will keep on coming. Why? Because at the moment, right? You can choose to hop on this idea, but if understand that if you're hopping on a trend as a business idea for the long run, is for the duration of that trend. All right. I gave you 3 proper ways in which you can create or in which ideas can come. All right. And I'm basically walking you through my thought pattern on how I do what I do. All right. The next step now is brainstorming, basically. Now that you have a source of inspiration, right? How do you refine that idea? How do you refine that idea? All right. Best way I've seen so far that works for me, I implement from all my businesses. I learned from my mentor. It's something called mind mapping. All right. Mind mapping. Just send me a message. All right, mind mapping. Start with the central concept, then branch out with related ideas. All right. This helps you visualize connection and expand your thinking. For example, you want to start a fitness business in Benin. All right. What comes along with fitness? Diet, health, personal training. All right. So you sort of connect all the dots and now make your idea a plan, right? Next one, there are other creative methods that people use, something technically like creative aids, where you sketch out each idea in 8 minutes. It basically pushes you to think outside the box because you have limited time. And I think someone calls Cramper. It's an idea that is a technical involve asking questions to modify existing products or services.
What's wrong with you?
Let me speak in, please mute your mic, please. Esther. All right.
Jenna.
So as I said, I'm taking Esther, mute your mic. Thank you. All right. So after you have gotten the idea, it's crucial to ensure that your idea solves a real problem. So ask yourself, what specific issue does your idea address? How significant is this problem to your potential customer? The clearer you articulate the problem, the better your chances of crafting a solution that truly resonates with your target audience. All right. So define your UVP. This is what sets your solution apart from every other person because everybody is doing the same thing. All right. Your UVP should be clearly communicated with your product or service in the best choice, as well as the best choice, solving the problem you identified. And note that if you are not solving a problem, you make your solution seem like a problem. Have you ever heard of creating a problem to give a solution? Well, that will be a topic for another webinar. Just take notes, please. All right. All right. I can give you different case studies. Companies like Airbnb, Dropbox, Spotify, and the rest of them. But you know what? I'm going to end it here. And I will release the rest of my notes on our social platform. All right. So that will allow everybody here to really take a dive into what we are saying. All right, concept of what we're doing. We in collaboration with everybody and the Magnificent University of PD, we want to uncover stars in the Edo State, possibly the world. And we're starting here. Jed.
Okay, hi everyone. Sorry, I'm audible. Okay, so thank you very much everyone for coming to today's session. Ideally, I should have been here earlier to introduce everyone, but I unfortunately had issues with Airtel and MTN, so I think I'll have to find alternatives for the next webinar. So generally, just to round up what everybody says, I think the major things that you would notice is everyone hinted on one, the fact that you need to find an idea, like you need to brainstorm, you need to like actually look around and say, okay, what problem can I solve? Then you need to make that problem into a problem that people actually have. Because the idea here is like everybody might have a particular problem, but solving that problem does not really impact their lives in a way that can help you make money. Oh, apologies. I'm very, very sorry, Peter. You can take the floor. Thank you. Eh,
Good evening, everybody. I hope I'm audible. Please confirm, Jay.
Yes, you're audible.
All right. So sorry for the background noise, first of all. Still in the discussion on startups. I am doing what they call market analysis. So it's going to be part of what every startup owner or founder they have to get familiar with. But not to bore us, first of all, why are we here? How do we plan to move from here? The progress of this initial talk and discussion, and what's the plan moving forward, right? I think that was one question everybody should be anticipating. So, Mr. Chijoki has already given an introduction already. Another person who also spoken with you guys is Mr. Egosa. He himself is keen on startups, startup engagement, getting startups ready and providing them with resources and other information that will help your startup grow in the space. All right. So the aim of this is to see how startups can be formed right from the environment where we are and where we engage. So the thing is, for now, we understand that probably there's a divide between, I'll say, the academic work, the management, and student itself, right? So the plan now is even the management themselves are getting ready to support some startups, right? And moving forward, and those startups will be more like a source of inspiration and a source of growth for new ideas, for new startups that are going to be coming into the system. So I don't think that makes sense. One of which is they themselves providing startups with resources, with possibly spaces, with events, with funding, with sponsorship, right? But they cannot do all that without, first of all, trying to understand that, first of all, the person they want to engage in is already get the concept of what a startup is and how a startup engage, right? And trying to also see how whatever faculty you are, whatever is your field of study, you are getting your innovations to come up, right? To encourage you to not slack or relent to innovation, right? No matter maybe the department or faculty that your innovation is actually valid, right? So that's first off. So if you understand that your innovation is valid, the next thing is how can you start engaging the system? How can you start engaging with your innovation how can you ensure that you're able to bring your innovation to life, right? To where it is. Prior to now, some other students that are finished that who are already doing well or who are doing innovations. Prior to now, most of them were left to start, struggling or fighting for themselves, trying to see how they could navigate, and I think I know a few that are on the call who would try to form their own startup without with little or no support, even from the environment to find themselves from management, and things like that, right? So basically, why this whole thing is being put together is to see how we can do away with some of those divides, right? Do away with some of those too many stress that we may have on ourselves to bring whatever we have to life. So this is just like a first phase to it, and we are working on something to ensure that every person is onboarded. So let us start putting notes down. Let us start taking things down. And let us try to reach out to other persons that you know that these discussions are key to them, and these discussions will be of importance to them, right? So let's just hit it. First of all, there is a big difference between, will I say, startup and MSME, right? Normally, sometimes you normally confuse startup. MSMEs are not good. MSME is medium and small businesses, right? So the very basic definition I'll give to both is this. Take note, like I said, they are both valid, right? But there are differences between them. MSME is good, right? With the law of addition. By addition, I mean that their growth is growing at a very gradual pace, right? It's more like if there are more equipment for the products, I can get to this amount of so if I buy one more equipment, I will get if I have one equipment, I have 5 customers. If I have one more equipment, I have 10 customers, right? To see how the addition, right? So to every addition is a little addition to your gain, right? So but for startup basically are not solely dependent on so many infrastructure, even though they are, right? Don't confuse it. So a startup may not be totally dependent so much on infrastructure, but one significant thing is they grow by the law of multiplication. By law of multiplication, I mean if there is an adjustment to sorry, am I audible now? Very sorry about the network thing. Hello, confirm you can hear me.
Yes, Peter, you're audible. Please continue.
All right, thank you very much. So I don't know where I dropped off. I think I was talking about difference between MSCs and startup. I don't know if you catch that.
Yeah, we did. Please continue.
All right, thank you very much. So startups basically know multiplication, right? From the 10 customers almost immediately. They are going at a pace of say 100 customers, right? So that's just basically it. But the true thing here is start putting your ideas down and start drafting them down, right? Because we'll engage subsequently and ensure that this innovations that we are having. It's not a waste, right? And next, we'll be looking at welcoming um, startups who would stand up to pitch, and most of the startups that will be getting funding and sponsorships, they will be incubated by Mr. Chijuki and the Nubin team themselves, and also probably provided with technical assistance and some other assistance they will need to get their products to life or to launch their products. So I think that's basically it from my end. Thank you guys for joining. Thank you for being here. Thank you for being here, and try as much as possible to always be present and available, right? I think that's the basic story and introduction behind all these engagements, right? And we look at the future that everyone here would be those that would be supervising the next set. Thank you very much. I'm passing the mic back to Jerry. Thank you.
Yeah,
Okay, Peter, sorry, did you call me? Are you done speaking? Sorry. I couldn't.
Yeah, just rounded.
Okay, so welcome back on stage, sir. Said you only had a few things to say. Hello, sir. You have the floor. Please unmute. Thank you.
okay, thank you very much. So they've said a lot of things. I'm actually excited what they've said so far in the first place. And one thing they said, which if you read the book called What Will Google Do, Google has 10 laws which they talked about. The first thing is they said for Google's 10 laws is just starts. Just starts. Let me tell you, it doesn't matter how stupid your idea is looking in the first place. As you iterate it, it gets better. Let me shock you. When Watson was one of the guys who started IBM, wanted to sell computers, for example. When he created the first set of computers, do you know what his shareholders told him? The shareholders told him that only 5 computers will sell in this world. I'm sure those shareholders will be turning on their grave because what IBM actually started with typewriters as a whole. So just that, and it doesn't matter how small it is that you intend to, no matter how small it is in the first place. Another surprising thing, another thing that will surprise you is this. No matter how small it is, starts. The company, a company that sells zips in Japan, sells zips worth $5.7 billion every year. Can you imagine that zip? $5.7 billion, all they sell every year for zips in the first place. So your idea may be small, it doesn't matter, just start in the first place. And market analysis is also very, very important. Market analysis is important. You must do market analysis, or you must learn that. Even if you can't learn that, because a problem I also see that most of us are technocrats. That is, we are programmers, we are product designers, and the rest. We can get somebody in our team. That's part of the networking they talked about. Messi mentioned networking, mentioned reading books. She talked about networking as a whole. You gather a team of like minds. Somebody can help you with that. If somebody can help you with market analysis, if you have the money, you can pay for that. It will actually help you. I was surprised. I was supposed to I took somebody on Thursday night to pitch an idea with some guys. And we're talking, and the guy said something. He immediately asked the guys, have you done project analysis on this stuff? The guy was looking at him, and he was an academic. And the guy was looking at him, and I myself was taken aback because I didn't remember that I was supposed to do product analysis. And the guy said, okay, oh well. He just went online, went to a site and he said, okay, the prospect for this is it's huge in the first place. And it taught me something that once I start, because we also need to pitch your ideas if you need investors. Some of us, maybe we have our parents who can help us. You don't really need investors. You can use your family money as a whole to actually do that. But you must learn to pitch. You must not, even if you're not going to pitch to anybody, you must not be afraid to talk your idea over, because that's what helps the state of what refinement. It helps the state of refinement. So I think I want to actually stop there for now and beg that if Jed can allow people actually talk and also ask their questions, and also if people could also send their email addresses so we can actually reach out to them when it's needed, because this is a very special group in the first place. Thank you.
Thank you very much, sir. Thank you very much, everyone who spoke, from Peter to Joshua to and everyone else who's on the call. Thank you very much to Mercy and to you, sir. Thank you very much for coming on call today. So yeah, this is the part where we say if you have any questions, you can unmute your mic, ask your question very quickly, and you can either pose questions to a particular speaker or throw it open and I'll nominate the speaker to answer that question for you. If you are interested, please just do that over the next few minutes so that we can round up. Thank you very much.
Again, if you guys have any questions, feel free to ask now. Everything will be posted on our social media page. You can still comment and ask your questions, then we'll get to it. But this is your chance. Ask from us. Don't be shy. Don't be shy. Talk.
Okay, so if by 5:13 nobody has asked a question, then I think we'd have to reach the end of the webinar. I'll just conclude so we can leave. But once again, please send your mails to the chat so that we can be able to communicate with you. We'll also be sending you a link to the startup group chat, the investor group chat via your mails. So please ensure that you send your mails. Thank you very much. One more time, if you have any questions, this is the time to ask. Don't be shy. We don't bite.
I think I should just end.
Okay, so since nobody has raised their hands, I'm going to be assuming that our speakers were very clear, which I think is the case because they all spoke beautifully well. Joshua made very sound points when he spoke on the importance of like walking through the process of looking at the key concepts and then like driving and leveraging for impact through those key concepts. Then afterwards, I think yes, Mercy made very nice, very salient points on the importance of like networking and 10,000 hours because like the truth of the matter is yes, for you to ever really get good at something, you need to have put in that 10,000 hours. And that comes like in a variety of ways. But most importantly, it's just about putting your head down and grinding, which is what you need to do with a startup. Finally, our Peter made very salient points on the difference like SMEs and startups. So startups are a lot more intensive. They require a lot more a startup. And so with that, I believe that we've come to the end of the webinar from my end. If there are any questions, please just send us an email. You can send me an email at jedromsele@gmail.com. You can also send the other speakers emails as well. So they'll be dropping their emails in the chat. And with that, I want to thank you all once again for coming to the first edition of the Startup Webinar series. We hope to see you on the next one. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Hello, Peter.
Hello, good evening, ma'am.
Good evening. How are you?
Fine, ma'am.
All
Welcome,
right.
ma'am.
Thank you.
Sure.
Okay. She's okay. It's like he's not there. All right. Thank you. Bye.
Thank you. Good night.
Bye.
Goodbye, Ma. Thank you.
Good night.
All right, thank you, everybody.
And this was phenomenal. All right. We're going to have our next webinar every Saturday. Last Saturday of the month, rather. Let's cook.
Wait. Sorry. Can I get the recorded of the recording of the meeting? Hello?
Yes, you can. Are you on the group chat?
Yeah, I'm on the group chat, yeah.
Okay, definitely. Don't send it there.
Okay, all right. Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
All right.
We'll be sharing everything, every bit of content. We'll be sharing every piece of
That's first time.
all right, my part and every other speaker's part. And as for the recording, to be made available. All right. So please
Alright.
follow Covering Stars on Facebook, TikTok. No, sorry, Facebook, LinkedIn, Instagram. All right. Let's connect. Generally, we are the next generations of stars. It's time to make impact.